Food, generosity and engagement can help one structurally change someone's life. The Robin Hood Army aims at using food to build empathy. Having served 9 million people in over 80 cities with a team of over 20,000 volunteers, they still believe that they are just 1% done in their war against hunger.
They are epitomes of selflessness, dedication and care. On their way to build a hunger-free India, they have provided food to not only millions but have actually inspired an entire generation to provide time to those who require it the most. gnoTalks 2018 is proud to be with the supporters of such a virtuous cause today. So ma'am, moving on to the first question.
Yes.
Ma'am, the members of the Robin Hood Army like to call themselves as the Robins.
Yes.
So ma'am, who actually are these Robins and what is their average age?
So, as I said in the talk, that there is no age that defines Robins. We are volunteers who you can say are young professionals. They are retired people. Some of the army officials have started volunteering for us. There are school students, college students. So anyone or everyone who has a passion to do something for the cause that we're working towards, that is eradicating hunger, is a Robin. So it is as wide as that and as simple as that.
On a personal level, ma'am, how did you come to know about RHA?
So I find my encounter with Robin Hood Army very mystic. So the year when I was launching my own company, that's when RHA's first drive was happening in Lucknow. And I'm from Lucknow, and my younger sister was attending this drive while I was attending another meeting somewhere where I was reading about the social development goals, and one of them was hunger. And it was so mystic that I go back home after that study and my sister tells me that there's this organization and they're coming to Lucknow. And I was like, this is it, like this is so mystic. And that's how I came to know about Robin Hood Army. Then I read about it and I got to know that it was started by one of my seniors from college. So I immediately got in touch with them, and after that I started coordinating the team in Lucknow. We were 6 initially, moved out to 10, 15, and now we are 500 plus in Lucknow itself.
Ma'am, you yourself being a married working woman and a part of RHA as well, how do you manage your personal, professional and social life?
See, RHA is not a job for us, it is a way of life. So it is so much ingrained in our being that I don't see it as a time-consuming task. So yes, the coordination, being a part of the expansion team and coordinating different cities is little time-consuming. However, as I said that, you know, interviews like these, the crowd like yesterday's infuses in us that passion to continue working. And yesterday I realized we have such a big responsibility. So when you have that responsibility within you, I think the time naturally comes. And similarly with work, so again, you know, devoting some time on WhatsApp and coordinating an activity it's in your head. The time glitch is in your head. It doesn't take time.
Ma'am, how difficult was it for the RHA in its initial stages to convince the various restaurant owners to become a part of such a noble cause? Had there been any incident related to it where it was a hard time for the Robins to do that?
Yes, I'll say every city will face and faces this challenge in the initial days because the trust factor is not there. So when you go, for example, if you guys start a chapter here, you have mess food, but once you go, your authorities might stop. They'll have their own reservations regarding giving that food, but that's when we started saying that okay, what should we do is we can gather like food from our homes, start doing the drives. Once we started doing the drives, started posting the happy pictures on Facebook, showing it to them, they thought that we are trustworthy people and they can bank on us, and that's how the food started coming in. And you know, some of the restaurants and cafes is really generous, and I'll say 50% of the food in our initial days and still like currently comes as fresh food from restaurants. And when they see that we are doing something so noble, so they say why they also want to be a part of this cause. So they said we'll cook fresh food for you guys. So a lot of fresh food also comes.
The ReFood program from which RHA drew its inspiration was limited inside the boundaries of Portugal only, whereas RHA gained a much wider reach. So ma'am, what was so special with RHA that it managed to spread its wings in other foreign countries as well?
See, if you look at our drives, if you look at our videos or pictures, you will see that we are not really distributing food. I can't compare myself with the ReFood program. The idea is the same, but I haven't seen them conduct a drive ever. I know Neil used to say that he got inspired by that concept, but I've not seen a drive. But what I can definitely talk about is our drives. And our drives are filled with love. So we just don't ask them to chalo line banao and khana batna hai. We play with the kids, we listen to them, we ask their other problems if there is any, and we build a bond. So there are times when we'll call the kids, chalo circle banate hain, we'll start singing ABCD. We'll ask them to sing Salman Khan songs and dance. So, and we dance with them, we sing with them, and then we give the food. So that love-filled community is so powerful, and as you say, love has no boundaries, so that we were able to cross those boundaries with love. And obviously, thanks to the digital media and the Facebook age, the pictures were traveling with viral, and a lot of people wrote to us that they would want to initiate a chapter. And being decentralized, as I said, was the main reason why we were able to go in 13 countries. Because a person sitting in India, it's not possible to manage 13 countries. So the decentralization hence is very important.
So ma'am, we have observed that RHA has started its drive in Canada, but not in USA. It has actually grown in Kenya, but not in Somalia, a place where actually the people are dying out of starvation. So ma'am, is there any set criteria why RHA chooses only a particular place for the expansion of its mission?
I will say RHA doesn't choose a place, the volunteers choose RHA. So it's as simple as that. We are waiting for people to come up and say, because as I said, we are sitting here. So we are so now we are going to start an aggressive expansion, international expansion soon. Courtesy our founder who is sitting in Howard right now and working on our international expansion. But again, we know there are countries that are who really need us. We are just waiting for volunteers. Anyone can be a Robin, so if there is any Robin out there in any part of the world, please reach out to us on www.robinhoodamn.com and we'll start a chapter in your country.
Talking about global expansion only, the second country after India where RHA expanded its mission was Karachi, Pakistan. With ongoing border tensions between India and Pakistan, how difficult was it for RHA to make this move? Did you face any sort of criticism?
See, hunger is not defined by border. The problem of hunger is faced across the borders in both the countries, and here we are not for any political issues or anything. We are here working for a cause, and again the cause is driving us. So I think we totally ignored all the tensions and are working on a more powerful emotion, which is love and compassion for someone who needs us. So I don't think there is any difficulty that is involved, because the cause is very noble and very pious.
Ma'am, how much credit would the RHA like to give to the social media platform for the expansion of its mission among people?
See, it's a good question, because we are a zero fund organization, so we do not have any budget to advertise. So actually, it is the social media, it is Facebook that has enabled us to reach out to a wider audience. So though social media has its negative things as well, which a lot of people say, but luckily and fortunately for us, it has been a blessing, because Facebook and Instagram has enabled us to reach out to so many people and get a lot of volunteers on board. So thank you.
Ma'am, RHA, as it claims, is a non-structural organization with no corporate culture of bosses and employees and no hierarchy. So ma'am, with RHA expanding demographically day and night, how does it manage to stick to this ideology?
See, I think someone asked me this question during the talk yesterday, and I said the same thing, that we chose growth. So you cannot grow if you limit yourself with bosses or a very centralized approach. In fact, the reason one can grow is when you give others liberty to take up leadership and start a chapter. So we have to raise capable individuals each and everywhere we go. So we do have mentors. We have a team that has guidelines on how to initiate a chapter to help someone start. But the initiative comes from the Robins. So you cannot say a sir is sitting there and uske permission ke bina kuch nahi ho sakta. No, we have just two rules. One is you cannot accept money. The other is we do not tolerate any kind of misbehavior towards women. And yes, there is another important rule with food, particularly surplus food, that if you cannot eat it, then they cannot eat it. So we taste the food before taking it.
Ma'am, for the food to not go stale, it actually requires large scale refrigeration, then its transportation costs, and many more processes are involved in this. So, ma'am, RHA being a zero fund and a non-profit organization, how does it actually manage to do all this without funding?
So I'll give you two aspects of it. The first one is that a lot of food that comes to us in surplus is distributed then and there. So it is not stale food, number one. It is the food that was surplus at that moment. We got a call, and luckily, due to being a very hyper-local model, that we have volunteers across cities, across location in a particular city, we are able to reach out. So how we work is, somebody gives us a call or a message that itna khana yahan bacha hai. We put it on a WhatsApp group. The person nearest that location goes there. We take the help of our individual cars, e-rickshaws, sometimes the caterers who have now, over the course of years, been very generous to give their dhalas to us to take the food without any money, and we distribute that food then and there. That being said, sometimes there could be an issue, so on that we do have some generous people. For example, in Indore, there's someone who's literally donated a cold storage to RHA. Pharmaceutical unit did that, so in case we want to use that, we use. However, most of our cities are working on receive and distribute model. Yeah.
Ma'am, in the process of sharing food selflessly, how do Robins manage not to lessen the self-respect of the receiver?
Honestly, when you go there, you talk to them, it is how you give food. A line mein lag ja khana le le is not the attitude how we serve food. When we talk to them and we tell them how tasty this food is, and we talk to them ki kaisa laga, and we eat with them. So it's not that that food is not what we eat. So agar gulab jamun aate hai na, you'll see more Robins eating that than those people. And particularly I remember you can do cheers and eat with them. Chola chawal, we eat with them. So when you eat with them, they feel a part of us. It's a community, and honestly, now we've identified people in various sectors and some areas who help us out. So, for example, there's this particular area in Lucknow where we go to often, and there's a small kid, maybe 8 years old, who we call a Robin, because he's the one who calls everyone. He's the one who makes a formal line, talk to them, and help us distribute food. So you make them a part of you. So since it's not that wo poor hai, hum thode se well off hai. It's about we are neighbors, we are living in the same place, same city, we are part of one community. So that basic humanism is, I'll say that we feel is the factor that do not let them feel so inferior.
Ma'am, we have listened a lot about the changes that RHA brought in the lives of the less fortunate. But ma'am, while working with RHA, did you ever come across any Robin whose life underwent a major change through the process of spreading smiles?
I think all of us, and I can say on behalf of every Robin, that we are going through a certain change within ourselves over the years. We've seen our compassion grow. We've seen ourselves becoming more responsible and more sensitive towards the issues in our community. So it started with food, and when you see that we're giving food, so food to bada mangal bhi dete hain, but when we ensure ki gandagi na ho saath mein, so you become more sensitive to your communities. So I think that while doing this, working towards one cause, we became sensitive to other causes that they're facing, and we started working towards them. And I'll say that most of our parents had issue in the beginning because सारा time हम RHA में निकाल रहे, रात में कहाँ RHA के लिए जा रहे हैं. But I think for everyone, it's a second family. We found new friends. We found a lot of people have found relationships within RHA. I met my husband via RHA, so he was not a part of Robin Hood Army, but he came in touch with me because of Robin Hood Army. And so yes, I think it adds a lot to each of us in various ways which cannot be defined.
Ma'am, the Robin Hood Army is trying to bring in the politicians and the celebrities through this concept of 20 culture makers and 18 change makers. So, ma'am, along with publicizing your agenda, in what other ways do you think the people of such stature can actually help in your organization?
Thank you for asking that question, because that's the reason I would love to talk about why we did this. So these are the influencers in our country. So you know about bloggers and how they are influencers. Now these are people who have massive following and people listen to them. So you know what happened when an Amitabh Bachchan spoke about Robin Hood Army in KBC? Our website was almost about to crash. We had 60,000 requests. We have been here in business for 4 years and we had approximately 10 to 15,000 volunteers, and here we had a massive inflow just by an Amitabh Bachchan appealing to the public that they should work for us. So that is the power of celebrities and politicians. So beside educating the masses to be a part of Robin Hood Army or be a Robin at home, the other factor they can help is they have the resources and means to do a lot. So since we are a zero fund organization, and that's what we said, ki we are serving 1 million, what are you doing? So go and do your bit. We are basically, what we try to do was make the cause or the problem of hunger famous. So when we have made them sensitive towards a problem as severe as hunger, which is killing people every day, then I think we must have somewhere in their hearts made a shift that they also should work towards it. We are working in our ways. We do not want them to come and join. Like, we are not saying, not want is a strong word, I'll say, we are not saying that come and be a part of RHA. Aap website pe jao, login karo and come for our drives, be a part of WhatsApp group. But we are saying that in your individual capacity, and it's not just for celebrities or change makers, for everyone, in your individual capacity, do whatever you can for this cause, because this is a very serious problem.
Apart from its primary agenda of food distribution, RHA has taken up many secondary initiatives as well, like the Robin Hood Academy, providing free medical checkups as it happened in Lucknow. What fueled these steps?
When we go, and as I said, it's not about making a line and distributing food. We talk to these people and we understand what are the problems that they are facing. So it is over this course we realize the lack of education, and laborers हैं, parents हैं, rickshaw pullers हैं, हम उनका अब at this stage maybe ज़्यादा कुछ ना कर पाएं, but what we can do is we can impart their kids. So that's the idea that came to us from the academy concept. And the women empowerment concept again, where we thought कि चलो घर पे बैठ के खाना बनाने से अच्छा वो पेपर बैग बना देंगे, राखियाँ बना दें, diyas bana de. So these were the initiatives that were taken by Robins, and again that was the power again of decentralization. अगर कोई rule होता तो शायद हम आज खाने पे ही limited होते. Since there are no rules involved and RHA can be anything a Robin wants it to be, so these initiatives came up, and talking to these people make us understand their issues, and from those issues so the information that we gather by such initiatives of while doing food distribution, when we talk to them, all that information goes in planning of our next drive. And then we realize कि अच्छा यहाँ पे ये issue है, अच्छा यहाँ ज़्यादा लोग बीमार पड़ रहे हैं, it could be because of menstrual hygiene, so why not we get a doctor on board? Or if we see, so there was this particular area we went to, we realized that most of the students, and we were not even aware, were suffering from measles. So next time we went to that area on another Sunday, we took a doctor. We told them the basics of how contagious it is, कैसे साथ में नहीं खेलना चाहिए, and they were not aware. उनको ये नहीं पता that it was measles. So 50% of the kids there had measles. So again, when you go out and talk to them and not just blind yourself with a task, that's when you understand the problems, and that's when you know what all you can do, much more in your capacity to help them.
Ma'am, what can individuals like us do to, ma'am, bring about a change in the mindset of the people and ultimately a change in the society?
See, I'll say it's not a task. What you have to do is bring a change about in yourself. That being said, baki sab ho jayega. So it will happen. How it will happen, when it will happen, don't think about that. It will happen, and that's how we function. And I said the power of one. It was idea one which resulted in a massive army now. So similarly, a change in your heart, you will do it, your neighbor would see it, and maybe she or he joins you. Similarly, a chain reaction is created. So that's why I'm emphasizing again and again on this chain reaction, because what you have to do is maybe just go alone and start distributing food, and everyone will join you. And I'll say talk more about the cause, because once you make people sensitive about the cause, they start doing things for it.
Ma'am, what was your best moment at gnoTalks 2018?
I had several moments, but I think the one which gave me goosebumps was towards the end of my presentation. If you remember, I asked everyone that, do you now feel empowered after this talk to make a difference? Initially, everybody said they feel helpless. Okay, so when I asked again, then do you now feel empowered? And I could see so many hands going up. I think that gave me goosebumps, and I thought that why I'm here, the purpose is solved.
Thank you so much, ma'am,
Thank
for
you.
your inspiring and thought-provoking words. It was a pleasure and privilege to have you as a part of gnoTalks 2018, and we wish you luck for all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having Robin Hood Army on board. Thank you.